Hello everybody. Today in this session, we'll discuss theories of entrepreneurship. Now, before going to the theories of entrepreneurship, first I will discuss what is entrepreneurship. This is basically the question, like definition of entrepreneurship or meaning or concept of the entrepreneurship. This we'll discuss. Then later on we'll move to the different theories of the entrepreneurship. Now coming back to the question, what is entrepreneurship or what do you understand by entrepreneurship? Now, entrepreneurship can be referred as a creative and innovative response to the environment and an ability to initiate, recognize, and exploit an economic opportunity. An entrepreneur is an innovator who introduced something new in the economy. Entrepreneurship is doing things that are generally not done in the ordinary course of business. Okay. Now, in other words, we can say like an entrepreneur is a person who develops a new idea or takes the risk of setting up an enterprise to produce a product or service which satisfies customer needs. Now, see, I will give you the brief summary of the definition and meaning of the entrepreneurship. Now, initially, what I said that innovation can be referred as a creative and innovative things with response to the environment. Now, now we are facing the crisis situation. Crisis like COVID-19 period is going on. Now, in this crisis condition also, something can be innovated. Okay, because this is basic nature of the human being. When human faces problem, they start thinking, and that thinking is the initiation, recognition, identification, or exploiting a new economic opportunity. And an entrepreneur basically an innovator who introduce something new to the economy. Then entrepreneurship is a thing which brings new things which is normally does not happening in the ordinary business process. Like in this regard, we can say Paytm when come, it was a absolutely innovative thing. Okay, then like this third-party payment bank in online. Then on the existing things also, innovation, upgradation, modification can be taken place. Now we are defining that entrepreneurship is very closely, or it is very much connected with the things, new idea, new concept, or creative things, or innovations. So basically, what is the things which comes under the innovation dimension, like introducing a new product in the market, then introducing product into the new market, then new methods of production, then new supply chain, introducing new supply chain, then new management process. These all are coming under the innovation. And entrepreneurs are basically brings new idea to the market. Okay, now I hope that the concept of the entrepreneurship is clear. In a simple word, you can say that a entrepreneur is the person who brings new ideas or generate new ideas, new concept, new things to the market. Okay, now what they bring product, services which satisfy customer need and want, or which satisfy customer needs. Okay, so this is basically the brief about the entrepreneurship concept. Now next we'll move to the theories of entrepreneurship. Now see, this session is exclusively focused on the theories of entrepreneurship, but to recall the definition of the entrepreneurship, I have given you the definition of the entrepreneurship. Now we'll go through the theories of the entrepreneurship. Now in the theories of entrepreneurship, there are a lot of theories of entrepreneurship are there, many theories. Now among them, 14 theories we have I have covered today. Out of this 14 theory, 4 theory will go through in detail, or summary of this 4 theory we will go through in this session. And this theories detail I have collected from the intact1.com website. The intact1.com website, there very good explanation of the theories are given, and we are using this website, and that's why we are very much thankful to them. And I will use this information for knowledge gathering and information sharing purpose, as it is publicly displayed. So we are using for knowledge gathering and information accumulation purpose regarding the theories of entrepreneurship. Now, among the 14 theories which I will highlight today, out of this, first 6 is like Schumpeter's theory of innovation. Now, regarding the Schumpeter's theory of innovation, I would like to recall the class of phases, different theories of business cycle. In the different theories of business cycle, we have discussed the Schumpeter's theory of business cycle or Schumpeter's theory of trade cycle. So this is same theory. Same theory. It is also known as Schumpeter's theory of innovation. So that theory summary again we will go through today. Then Max Weber's theory of social change, and this theory is especially focused on impact of religion. Then next, the uncertainty bearing theory of young Knight. Okay. Now uncertainty bearing, this is related to the bearing risks. Risks will talk in detail. Then theory of Frank Young. Theory of Frank Young emphasizes on changing group level pattern. This Frank Young theory of entrepreneurship focused on the changes in the group level pattern. Then economic theory of entrepreneurship, and the 6th one is Casson theory, that is also known as economic theory. Then next, like Kunkel's theory, and these theories emphasize on entrepreneurial supply of entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial ability. Then Hoselitz theory, and his theories emphasize on marginal group. Then Cochoran's theory. Then Hagen's theory. Hagen's theory emphasizes on withdrawal of status respect. Then Leibenstein theory, and this theory is emphasized on X efficiency. Then Kirzrier's view on entrepreneurship. Then Baumol's view of entrepreneurship. Then Peter Drucker's view on entrepreneurship. So this theory also I have collected from the intact1.com. Now after sometimes we'll visit that website also, and we'll go through the summary of the 4 theories of entrepreneurship in this today's session. Now see, these 14 theories of entrepreneurship, you can remember, and if you remember, you will get a lot of help. Now, again, I have came to the first contents of the theories of entrepreneurship. Now, first we'll start with the Schumpeter theory of innovation. Basically, you know, Schumpeter's theory of innovation, as I said, it is already we have discussed in the theories of business cycle or trade cycle. So today we will give the revision of that part again. Now, a Schumpeter theory of innovation basically based on the innovation theory. Now, what I have said about the, you know, introducing new products, introducing a new market, or going for a new market, then, you know, introducing new source of raw material, then introducing a new method of production, introducing new management process. These are all coming under the theories of innovation, and these things, you know, takes business in the next level. So how it is happening, we'll go through the detail from this website, because see, when I'm telling, if you can see, that will give you more clarity. Now, first theory, I said that Joseph Schumpeter's theory of innovation. Now, you know, we'll go through the summary of this entrepreneurship theory. Now, Joseph Schumpeter propounded the well-known innovation theory of entrepreneurship. Why it is well-known? Because, you know, it is well accepted. It is accepted all around, and it's very popular theory of entrepreneurship. Schumpeter takes the case of a capitalist closed economy, which is in stationary equilibrium. Now, this is basically one case study which Schumpeter have used to explain his theory of entrepreneurship. He considered an economy which is having capitalist closed economy. And the capitalist closed economy having stationary equilibrium. Now, Schumpeter believes that entrepreneurship disturbs the stationary circular flow of the economy by introducing an innovation and takes the economy to a new level of development. Now, stationary level of, you know, circular flow of economy. Now, see, like I will give you some example of the products and services which are used by, you know, us. Like if we say about the you know, toothpaste, some toothpaste companies after you know 6 months or within 1 year, they say that, you know, they have added, you know, salt flavor, or salt is a core ingredient in their toothpaste, or neem is there, okay, or you know, this is Ayurvedic, a special edition takes place. So this is basically, you know, stationary circular flow of economy, and when new things come, economy moves, you know, again from the introduction stage, again economy start revitalizing. Like, you know, more specifically, all of you have seen earlier, you know, when Hero Honda, when they were doing business together, now they have separated. Hero Honda, they have introduced one two-wheeler, Hero Honda Splendor. Okay, so after that, they have introduced Hero Honda Splendor Plus, then Super Splendor. So Splendor Plus having something new, Super Splendor also having something new. Okay, now this example you can use and you can think that in other product categories also where you have observed this kind of changes. Okay, now when like this new things comes to the market, consumer accept it and they start purchasing and consuming that product, and economy goes to a new level. Economy flourish, business takes place. Okay, now like moreover, like innovations of entrepreneurs are responsible for rapid economic development of any country. Okay, now see, like if we talk about the like if we talk about the example of the Reliance Jio, or if we talk about the introduction of the smartphone, Android smartphone in the market. Now, when Android smartphone came into the market, you have seen that how market have accepted and how all around a lot of smartphone retail shop have taken place and people purchasing nowadays, presently also using. So that is a new kind of development have taken place, and that have accelerated the economic growth. Then I was talking about the Reliance Jio. So Reliance Jio also have introduced a new innovative scheme to the market, and with the introduction of the Reliance Jio, initially when they have done the press release, market have accepted it like anything. Okay, so when market have accepted it, then competition came, and due to the competition, customers are gainer. Okay, so this is what innovation can do. Innovation can bring to the customers. Now, here we'll go through the innovation could involve any of the following. See, this already I have mentioned in the introduction. In the introduction, I have mentioned about these things like innovation of new products, then innovation in novel method of or process of production. Okay, methods of production or process of production, bringing innovation there. Then the opening up of a new market, going for a new market. Then entrepreneurs might find new source of supply of raw material, finding new source of raw material. Then innovation in management. This means organization of an industry. Okay, like a new method of management practice or a new, companies like I have taken example of the Paytm. Okay, so this is basically, the innovation theory of the entrepreneurship. Now, the Schumpeter theory of innovation also being, criticized on several grounds. We'll go through some criticism also. Now, here a few more things I would like to highlight. Like the introduction of new product means the product which the consumer have not seen and is of a new and better quality or utility. See, these things already with example I have explained. Like I have given example of the toothpaste, then Hero Honda Splendor. Earlier it was Hero Honda Splendor. Then I have taken example of the Reliance Jio. So if you give a in-depth thinking, then you will see this is already being discussed. And a new method of production refers to a novel process not yet been used in manufacturing or in commercial production. Then from this website you can also give a reading. Now we will go through the criticism of the Schumpeter's theory of innovation. Now, Schumpeter theory has been subjected to the following criticism. Critics feel that the theory overemphasized on innovation functions of the entrepreneurship. It is really true. Actually, Schumpeter theory of innovation have given overemphasized or over-focused on the innovation functions of the entrepreneurship, and it have neglected or ignored the organizing aspect of the entrepreneurship. It have neglected or overlooked the organizing aspects of the entrepreneurship. organizing aspect is not being covered. So that is true, we have not found it. Then, Schumpeter had completely ignored the risks of taking function of entrepreneurship. Schumpeter have completely ignored or overlooked the risk-taking function. Yes, entrepreneurs need to be take risks, like you see, here we have good example like Tata Ninu failed. So Tata Group, they have taken the risks, they have introduced it, but ultimately it was not success. Like this, small company also failed, failures. Failure. That this kind of risks and entrepreneurs need to take, which cannot be ignored. Yes, it cannot be ignored. Whenever an entrepreneur develop a new combination of factor of production, there is enough risks involved. Like factor of production, we know land, labor, capital, enterprise. Now, when an entrepreneur make combination of all of these and tries to bring something new, and obviously risks is involved. We cannot ignore or overlook this risks, which is being not covered by the Schumpeter theory of innovation, theory of entrepreneurship. Then the theory is more applicable in developed countries only. The theory is more applicable in developed countries only. In developing countries, there is a PUCT of innovative entrepreneurship. Okay, like say, developed countries are more advanced. Their education system, then health infrastructure, social system, standard of living, everything is upgraded. So due to that upgraded nature, innovation takes place, maximum in the developed countries, and that after that it is being transferred to the other developing countries. So it is also true that this theory, maximally may be applicable to the developed countries. That the theory does not provide the explanation as to why few countries have more entrepreneurship talent than others. Yes, it is also true. Like Schumpeter's theory of entrepreneurship is being criticized on the ground that this theory were unable to explain that why in few countries there are large number of entrepreneurship, and in few countries there are negligible manner of entrepreneurship. So this part also not being covered to the theory, Schumpeter theory of entrepreneurship. So this is basically the summary of the Schumpeter theory of the entrepreneurship. Next, we will go through the, see here it is also being mentioned. First, I said that Schumpeter theory of innovation is a very popular theory and well-known theory. Now here also it is being mentioned that despite of all the above criticism, Schumpeter's theory is considered as a landmark in the expansion of entrepreneurship theories. Okay, so why I have read it, so that you can see it. You can see it and you can, develop the art to remember it, memorize it. Then, next theory is Max Weber's theory of social change. Max Weber's theory of social change, and it is specially focused on the impact of religion. Impact of religion. Now, Max Weber advocated a sociological explanation for the growth of entrepreneurship in his theory of social change. Now, what he felt that, person religious background play a very vital role in the formation of the entrepreneurship ability. Like every person belongs to a religion. Now that person religion comes from a social background, and that social background and religious belief that basically insists towards the entrepreneurship. Okay, and how it is, go through it in detail. Like Max Weber felt that religion had a profound influence on the growth of entrepreneurship. He said that, religions have a bigger impact on the influence on the growth of entrepreneurship. The religious belief and the ethical values associated with the society play a vital role in determining the entrepreneurship culture. Okay, the belief of the, I said it, I explained it already. So the religious belief and ethical values of the person basically influence the person or play a vital role in determining the entrepreneurship culture or establishing the entrepreneurship culture, and among that culture, basically entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial business grow up. Further, Max Weber opened that the entrepreneurial energies of a society are exogenously generated and supplied by religious belief. Now see, further, Max Weber have an opinion that entrepreneurship initiations or urgency comes from the external part of the society. It's externally influenced. Exogenously means externally motivated, externally influences or generated, and supplied by religious belief, and it is basically comes from the person's religious belief. Some religious profess the basic value to earn and acquire money, whereas some religious put less emphasis on it. Now he further segregated that some religious, some religion core value is to earn money, earn and acquire money, wealth, asset, etc. And some religion says that give less emphasis on accumulation of wealth, property, asset, or money. So he divided into these in two categories, like religion having focus on the accumulation of wealth, money, asset, property, etc., and another group having less emphasis, or another religion group having less emphasis on the accumulation of money, wealth, property, asset, etc. Okay, now further he have taken the example of Hinduism also. Like according to him, Hinduism have less emphasis on the wealth accumulation and marital life. So that's why entrepreneurship revolution or entrepreneurship have taken place very lately in India. Now, like see, just I'll go through his views. Like like I am highlighting this part. Weber felt that the belief system of Hinduism did not encourage entrepreneurship. Why? Because Hinduism laid less emphasis on wealth accumulation and marital life. Okay, this highlighted line you see, Hinduism laid less emphasis on wealth accumulation and marital life. The Hinduism did not profess the spirit of capitalism and was thus an obstacle in the promotion of entrepreneurship. Like Hinduism as a religion does not promote the capitalist system. Capitalist system means going for entrepreneurship and going for accumulation of wealth, money, asset, going for new business. So Hinduism does not promote this, and it's become a problem. And for this, promotion of entrepreneurship have not taken place properly. Weber was of the opinion that the Protestant ethics provide the mental attitude in a society that promotes spirit of capitalism and favors entrepreneurship. Now, see, further he have said that Protestant ethics. Protestant ethics is basically, one person believe is that person will believe that his duty and responsibility is to, earn money and accumulating wealth, asset. Okay. Now, the society which will have the Protestant ethics belief, they will progress further with regards to the entrepreneurship, because this favors the entrepreneurship. Protestant ethics, I am repeating again, this is a person duty and responsibility to get success in earning money. Okay, now the religion which is having the belief like this, they are, well ahead in the entrepreneurship. Now for that, Europe countries are doing well. Okay, you have taken example of the Europe also. Now the criticism. Max Weber theory of entrepreneurship also faced, several criticism, and among these, a few important criticism will go through now. Like Max Weber theory of entrepreneurship is based on unrealistic and invalid assumption. What was the thinking of the Max Weber, and critics think that his views or his assumption was totally unrealistic and invalid. Okay, it is true, because if we consider India, in India also entrepreneurship have taken place. A lot of Indian companies are there. Why lot of it's innumerable Indian entrepreneurs are there who are doing extremely good worldwide. They are world-renowned entrepreneurs from India. Okay. Then Max Weber theory further being criticized on the ground that it was found empirically invalid. It was empirically invalid. Then Max Weber has been criticized by many sociologists, sociologists on his view on Hinduism and entrepreneurship. The rapid expansion of entrepreneurship in India in the post-independence period, this proves that Hinduism is adverse to the spirit of capitalism and not to adventurous spirit. Okay, see that this is also already I have said. Okay, so this is being criticized. This is being criticized by so many sociologists. This concept of Hinduism with regards to the development of the entrepreneurship. Then the view on the Protestant ethics were also not completely correct. Capitalism has flourished in regions where Protestant ethics is not present. Yes, it is absolutely right. Let's see, Protestant ethics, what is I said, so where Protestant ethics does not exist also, there also, capitalism have flourished. Capitalism is a concept which encourages private entrepreneurship, private business. Okay, so under this capitalism, private ownership takes place in a mass scale. Okay, so his theory does not support this, and it is being criticized on the ground that capitalism has flourished in the region where Protestant ethics is not present. Okay, so these are basically the criticism which Max Weber theory have faced. Next, the uncertainty theory, the uncertainty bearing theory of night. Okay, uncertainty bearing theory of night. Now, Frank H. Knight in 1957 in his book Risk, Uncertainty and Profit. I am highlighting risk, uncertainty and profit regards profit of the entrepreneur as the reward of bearing non-insurable risks and uncertainties. Entrepreneurship is genuinely associated with risk bearing. H. Knight had distinguished risks into insurable risks and non-insurable risks. Okay, now see, earlier also I said this is basically related to the risk taking and earning profit. Now, if a entrepreneurs take risks, then if risk taking are success, then entrepreneurs definitely will earn profit. Now, he considered risks into two categories. These two categories are, insurable risks and non-insurable risks. Now we'll go to the what is insurable risks and what is non-insurable risks. Now, in the insurable risks, like there are certain risks that are measurable, and probability of such risks can be statistically estimated. Hence, such risks can be insured. These are insurable risks. Example of the insurable risks includes examples of the insurable risks includes theft of commodities, then fire in the enterprise, then accidental death, etc. Okay. On the other hand, there are some category of risks which cannot be calculated or which is not possible statistically estimate. Statistical estimation is not possible. These, risks are known as non-insurable risks. Now, the probability of their occurrence cannot statistically ascertain. These are basically regarding the non-insurable risks. Non-insurable risks probability is that their occurrence cannot be statistically ascertained, or what I said, statistically able to estimate. Now, this kind of risks include like change in price, change in demand and supply. These are non-insurable risks. Now, Professor Knight further opened that the profit is the reward. Profit is the reward for bearing the non-insurable risks and uncertainty. Professor Knight further opened that the profit is the reward for bearing the non-insurable risks and uncertainties, like dealing with the change in price, dealing with the demand and supply. Okay, like see, I have taken an example of the Tata Nano. Okay, Tata Group have taken a huge risks they have introduced, but with regards to the price, demand and supply all around, this was a failure. Ultimately, they were bound to withdraw the Tata Nano as a product from the market. So, but the profit is the reward. In the initially also I said when I was studying this theory that when businessmen take risks, after taking risks, when a customer accept the products, so revenue gets generated, and that revenue when goes to the entrepreneur's hand, that is basically the reward, and that reward they get. Why? As they have taken insurable and non-insurable risks. Okay, they have dealt with the uncertainties. Now, uncertainty bearing is one of the most vital function in a dynamic economy. The entrepreneur bears the uncertainty involved in the enterprise. The expectation of profit is the supply price of the entrepreneurial uncertainty bearing exercise. Now we'll go through some criticism. See here silent points. Silent point of the Knight theory is given. So we can go through this also. According to the theory, the entrepreneur earns pure profit for bearing the uncertainty. Uncertainty means non-insurable risks like change in price, change in demand and supply, like these things. Then the probability of uncertainty or non-insurable risks cannot be statistically estimated. These all we have discussed. Now again, just we'll give a quick revision. Entrepreneurs undertake risks of varying degree according to their ability and inclination. The theory suggests that the more risks, the nature of enterprise, the higher level of profit earned by the entrepreneurs. Like if risk is high, possibility of earning profit is high. Profit is the reward of the entrepreneurs for bearing for bearing uncertainties and risks, and it should be a part of the normal cost. The reward of the entrepreneurs is uncertain. Entrepreneurs guarantees interest to lender of capital, wages to worker, and rent to the landlord. The level of uncertainty in business can be reduced by applying the technique of consolidation. The total level of uncertainty can be reduced by pooling individual instance. So these are some main features of the Knight theory of entrepreneurship. Now we'll go through some criticism also. F.S. Knight theory of entrepreneurship also faced some criticism from the critics. Now his theory is being criticized on the ground that the role of an entrepreneur has not been elaborately provided by the theory. The role of the entrepreneur, role and responsibility of the entrepreneurs have not been discussed elaborately or provided by the F.H. Knight theory. The entrepreneur's activity has been restricted to uncertainty bearing. Yes, entrepreneur's activity, it was restricted up to the uncertainty bearing or up to the non-insurable risk bearing. Then modern business activities are different. Often there is a dichotomy between the ownership and management. This factor have not been taken into consideration. Then another criticism that the uncertainty bearing theory discuss the concept of profit in a vague way, in a unclear way, in a insufficient way. Okay, what uncertainty bearing theory? Uncertainty bearing theory means risks related to the non-insurable risks were being discussed in sufficient way, or it was not clear. The exact estimation of profit for the entrepreneurs has not been provided in the theory. The estimation of profit for the entrepreneurship also not being provided in the theory. Profit as a residual income of the entrepreneurs has been criticized. Okay, profit as a residual income of the entrepreneurs has also been criticized. Then critic feels that the uncertainty bearing should not be. Critic feels that uncertainty bearing should not be treated like other factor of production. Other factor of production what? Like land, labor, capital, and enterprise. Okay, so uncertainty bearing, he have given so much of focus, and without this he have not focused on any other things properly, and other things like factors of productions like land, labor, capital, enterprise. This is being, overlooked. So it is a psychological concept and should be treated in a different manner. Ultimately, thing is that critics think that it is a psychological concept and should be treated in a different manner. Now the next theory we'll discuss. This is the last theory we're going to discuss. Theory of Frank Young. Theory of Frank Young, and his theory is emphasized on change in the group level pattern. Change in the group level pattern. Okay. Now, if we say like a micro-sociological interpretation of entrepreneurship as coined for the theory propounded by Frank Young, emphasized that entrepreneurial initiatives are conditioned by group level pattern. Okay, by group level pattern. Frank Young rejected the psychogenic interpretation of entrepreneurship. He rejected the psychogenic interpretation of the entrepreneurship. And further, he considered the solidarity group responsible for building entrepreneurship. Solidarity group responsible for building entrepreneurship. So we'll go to further detail of this theory. Like we shall try to understand this theory by studying the various specific elements, are being discussed to this theory. Now, Frank Young opined that the entrepreneurial characteristics are observed in clusters, ethnic groups, occupational groups, and groups with political orientation. Entrepreneurism at the individual level is the manifestation of the group level pattern. Young disapproves the notion of entrepreneurship working individually. The entrepreneurship function as a member of a group. So is total focused on the group along with the clusters, ethnic groups, like occupational group, like how group are being formed. Like if we say group, like when some people with common belief, common tradition, common traits come together, then they may form a group. And entrepreneurship is basically the basic of this group formation. When a group is being formed, then automatically entrepreneurship will take place. And he also disapproved that entrepreneurship is a individual phenomenon. Okay, later on also faced criticism on this ground also. So now we can say that Frank Young theory is basically a group level theory, which basically propagate that entrepreneurial initiative and actions are the outcome of experience and exposure of an individual entrepreneurs as a member of a particular group. The family background of the entrepreneur and the manifestation of the general values of the group, the economic problem faced by the individual entrepreneurs are mitigated by the solidarity of entrepreneurial group. The individual entrepreneurs enjoy confidence of their association with the solidarity group, which helps individual entrepreneurs to overcome any sort of economic problem. Okay, then further, Frank Young deduced the group level pattern behavior exhibited by entrepreneurs on the basis of his test known as thematic appreciation test on the group entrepreneurs. The Young's theory includes the idea of reactive subgroup. This reactive subgroup play an important role in entrepreneurship creation. The reactive group crop up whenever a group experiences low status recognition, limited or no access to social group, social network, and have their institutional resource as compared to other group in the society at the same level. So this is basically a brief, reading of the entrepreneurial theory of the Frank Young. See, the reason of being reading so that you can understand the different dimension of the group level pattern. Group level pattern, how in depth way subgroups are there, then groups are there, then from family, then from group. If for example, one person is facing financial crisis, so if the person is in group, so group will help the person, and the person may easily overcome from this problem. Okay, so this is the Frank Young theory. So initially, one more theory we'll discuss. In this session, today we have discussed 4 theory. So 4 theory you can go through, and total whatever I have shown in the slide, there are 14 theories. So in your syllabus, 5 theories are given, 4 theories are given. So detailed 4 theory you have already covered. Now this is the theory. We have started with the Schumpeter's theory of innovation. Then we have also discussed Max Weber's theory of social change. Then next we have discussed the uncertainty bearing theory of Knight. Then we have discussed theory of Frank Young, which was emphasized on the change in the group level pattern. So these 4 theory we have discussed in detail, and the summary I have given you. In the next session, we may cover a few more theories. Today, time is not permitting to cover more theories. So next session, we may cover a few more theories. Now, total, as I mentioned, there are 14 theories. So all these 14 theories you can go through, and a few of them, like which we have discussed, you can memorize or you can understand so that you can write in your own language. And thank you for attending the session. Next class we'll discuss another new topic, and we'll meet with another topic.
Thank you, sir. Suggestion
for attending the session. Meet again with another new topic. Thank you, everybody.